Hey, hey, here they come. I should have some music on or something. Boy, I really should have some music on. I think I'll go do that. Taking requests. Anyone? Hmm. How's it going, everybody? Well, we're getting started about 1 o'clock, so come on in, get a cup of coffee. Portland, Maine. I haven't been up there in a long time. I miss Portland. It's a nice town. I'm down here in Pottsmouth, New Hampshire. You guys drop in the chat. Tell me where you're from. I know this is a regional thing, so let's hear it. Let's hear it. Merrimack, right around the corner. Wyndham, even quite about the same place, I think. Merrimack, Mass. That'll work. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Wonder if I can get this to work here on my end. That'll do. All these kids come in here and they play all that funky new music. I'm going old school. Yeah, Carol, I'm with you.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up
Chris is here.
My head to
Oh, Tom, I need somebody to save me.
Howdy.
I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven and this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California.
I feel like a conductor. Haley's over there
Such a
singing.
lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys she calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise, what a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Mirrors on the ceiling, they pink champagne on ice. And she said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they're gathered for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the nightman, we are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
There's all my air guitar players out there.
I'm just a chair dancer.
Here, dancing. Ryan is here. Oh, 6 seconds late. Did I figure it out? Okay. Oh, look at this. Just like a real radio show. Fades away into the background. Coming up a little bit later on Rock All Night. Well, welcome everyone. It is, oh my gosh, it is the 8th of April already. This is unbelievable. I think it's disappointing, actually. I really was hoping for, July. So I'm really glad that you're all here. We've got about 60 of you right now, and I can't wait for you guys to tell me what we're doing today. No, we are going over Facebook. We're specifically going over the Facebook ad campaigns. So I am going to show you the amazing, just, I mean, I spent like days working on this presentation for you. It's truly stunning. I mean, to find the right red was, it took me forever. Um, so we're going to be going over Facebook campaigns in Command, and it's actually really cool because I've done a little bit of work to try and make sure that what we have for you is a really complete package of all the things that we can do, and it has a lot in it, and I've got a lot of resources for you. So if you do feel like I'm going a little too fast or anything like that, please feel free to just speak up and let me know. I am here for you guys. I would love questions. Chris is in the chat room there, and Chris, just throw a rock at me if you got a question for me. I'm happy to just answer anything that I can. And
You got it.
all right, just don't throw it too hard. Everything scratches up this dome pretty good. Hey, I think you guys should be impressed. I finally found a way to light my head without it shining up like a neon light bulb. Yay! All right, so there's Carrie. All right, so we've got everybody in here now. So it looks like what we're going to do is we'll start by taking a look at in the PowerPoint here. We're going to take a look at some of the things that we need to do beforehand. So I'm not going to stay in the PowerPoint. I'm going to jump back and forth between Command and here, but we're going to talk about things. So one of the first questions that I always get when people are talking about these Facebook campaigns is, where do I start? What do I need to have in place? What do I have to get done? And so we got to have a few things. And the first is a business page on Facebook. Now, this is not your personal page, because none of this is going to go to your personal page. The advertising, the billing, all of that is going to be linked to your business page. So if you don't have a Facebook business page yet, you need to get one hooked up. You need to get it going, and you need to get that enabled and make it something that is really enticing for people to go to. Don't just build a shell page. The way that you do it very simply is, if you go to your Facebook page, on the left-hand side as the administrator, you should see your pages. And when you click on pages, you'll have the opportunity to create a new page. There are a lot of resources online that will help you create these Facebook pages, and I do encourage you to try a few out and test them, because you can actually build some pages without actually publishing them to see what it feels like and to perfect what you're doing before you actually publish it. So building your Facebook business page is job number one. The reason it has to be job number one is because of number, next page, next slide, because we have to have that to connect it within Command. So I'm sure that you're also aware that Instagram is part of Facebook now. You will have the option, once you've created your business page, to link the business page to your Instagram account so that you can advertise on Instagram as well. It's not a requirement, but it is a very helpful part of connecting things up. I don't know if anybody is doing advertising on Instagram. As a matter of fact, just out of curiosity, show of hands here, how many people are advertising on Instagram or intend to advertise on Instagram? I'd love to know the answer to that question. 2, 3. Oh, good. If that's the case, then as with Facebook, you can create an Instagram business page, and the business page is similar to what's going on Facebook. So you can have as many profiles on Instagram as same thing with Facebook. So you can create multiples. I have about 3 or 4 different Facebook business pages that I use, not for business. I'm not a real estate agent, but using it for different examples and demonstrations. So you can do as many as you want. Same thing with Instagram. So you'll notice that the next thing on here is business.facebook.com. If you are working with me today, and I hope that you are, this is designed to be a bit of a workshop. take a look at that page. If you already have a Facebook business page and you have not visited business.facebook.com, you need to go there. And I'll show that to you in a moment, what it looks like. But you can start by playing around in there while we're getting ready and getting set up here. That is the management interface for your business pages. And I think, now this is in my humble opinion, I think that is a far better way to manage your Facebook pages than going to the stream and managing them as your, the visitors kind of thing. The interface on Facebook is so cluttered, but going to Facebook, business.facebook.com, it's a clean business interface for your business pages, metrics, all sorts of reporting going on there. It's fantastic. If you are advertising on Facebook and you also are advertising through Command, we have a dashboard for you in Command, and we'll be looking at that. But there is facebook.com/account manager. Now you can get to that from your business.facebook.com page, but the facebook.com/ad manager will show you all of the leads that you've generated. It will show the stats and lists. It'll really be a very good interface. And it's a great way to make sure that you're getting the information into Command the way that you expect it to come into Command. Okay, so those are some of the configuration prerequisites. When we get right down to it, there's a little bit more going on, and we're going to be talking about that, the profile, and we'll come back to this screen in just a minute after we talk a little bit.
Oh,
So,
excuse me, Robert.
yes.
Is it Facebook.com ads manager or manager? You had M-A-N.
That's funny. Thanks, Ryan.
Amateur.
You're doing that on purpose.
I thought it was like a momager, like a stage mom, like a Kris Jenner. I'm like, who am I looking at? Okay.
I just hope that it didn't take you somewhere where it shouldn't have. That's all I'm hoping for.
I'm just jotting it down. I haven't actually delved in yet. It'd be awesome if it did, though. I'll let you know.
No. Okay, so manager, not mamager. What on earth? Oh, I'm going to guarantee you that's probably not going to be the last typo in this thing. All right, so we're going to set up our profile and we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to switch over to Command here. And inside of Command, of course, we land on the dashboard here. The first order of business, the first thing we got to do is to connect our Facebook. So on the top on the right hand side on your profile, and if you're playing along at home, again, I encourage you to do so. I will, take a look around. I've got you all here on the left. If anybody has any questions or if they want me to slow down, just let me know. So we're going to go down to our profile and choose settings. And I'm hoping that most of you have set this up. And if you haven't, this is where it's going to happen here. When you go into settings, you're going to see all of the integrations that are available. Many of them should be connected already, including either your DocuSign or your .loop, and all of the stuff down below that we're going to, kind of go by. There are two settings here that are related to Facebook. One thing you won't find is an Instagram setting here. I get this asked all the time. Where's the link in Command to Instagram? There is none. It's hooked up to your Facebook page, your business page. So when we see here, we actually see the Facebook post scheduling. This is for your social posts. This is not the ads manager. If you have connected Facebook in terms of your post scheduling, but you have not connected ads manager, then you're not ready to purchase ads on Facebook. You have to do both. So the free posting, which is part of the social posting process in Command, can be connected here. And you see I have connected with one account. What that means is I said I had 3 or 4 business pages. When you click on, in my case, manage, it will say, okay, so here is your account on Facebook. And if I wanted to, I could disconnect. I can also click on the connect more. And since I'm talking about post scheduling, it's going to load my Facebook accounts and the business pages that I can post to. Of course, it's taking its sweet time right now. But the one that I usually typically post to is, which pages do you want to connect to? Here we go. Connection something not good. Okay. So
I'm sorry,
this
can
one's,
you show one more time? I'm very sorry. How did you get to
No.
settings? I'm just trying to follow
yeah.
along here. And
Sure,
sorry about
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. So on the top of Command, on your profile icon, if you click that, the third button from the bottom is settings. All right.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Again, things like that. If you need me to stop or slow down, ask a question, just jump right in. That's what we're here for. So on the settings page, at the top of the screen, you'll see more integrations. You don't need to worry about anything over in the menu. You're going to see this page right away. So I'm not going to bother with wondering about why it's not showing the other more connections, but this is what we need. Post scheduling for your social, and then for your Facebook ads manager, you'll need this. So this one will be, you'll have to connect. If you've connected to one or the other one will just automatically grab onto it. You won't have to do a lot of signing in or a lot of work. You do have the option too for posting to Twitter, which is this part. This one is free. And down below here somewhere is my Twitter ads manager. So yes, you can purchase ads on Twitter as well. Okay, so there are some other things to think about, but I'm not going to go into them here. I want you to consider and start thinking about getting a Facebook Pixel. And this is weird. It's not scrolling all the way down to the bottom. Did they change this page or something? Because it doesn't have the thing at the bottom there. All right, well, whatever. There's a Facebook. I said, I'm sorry, that's in the marketing profile. That's why. Duh. So there is a thing called Facebook Pixel. Not going to get into it here, but it's basically targeting tools for your advertising on Facebook. So that's something that we, maybe someday we can talk about that in a deeper sense, but it is targeting better and building personas of the people that you would like to target for your marketing. It's a really powerful tool. And of course it is free. So the priorities on this page, again, connecting your Facebook socials and connecting your Facebook business accounts before we go any further. Okay, so over here, like we said, we can have only the business profiles can be connected. So we'll link up both the Facebook and the Facebook social and the business. Link is already done for Instagram if you set that up on your business page, all right? The next thing up we need to do is talk about your marketing profile. So we're gonna jump back over here. And from this page, if you're following along, this time we're going to stay on your profile on settings. We're gonna be right here. So on the left-hand side, there's a menu over here. It says General, Command, Connect, and Global. If you click on Connect, and again, I hope that you've all done this because this is one of the first things you should have done when you got your, where do you find Facebook Pixels? I'm about to show you where you find it in the program, inside of the marketing profile, but Facebook Pixels, it doesn't have a link in here to go to it. Just do a search for Facebook Pixels, Facebook Pixel, and you will find a wealth of information on how to set it up and how to get it going. It's really easy, but it's got a lot going on and it's powerful for you. Okay, so what I did again on the Connect settings, I clicked on Marketing Profile. On the marketing profile, we'll come down through here and we'll want to make sure that all of this information is correct. Again, you should have done this right when you got into Command the very first week. This should have been one of your priorities. So we'll get all of this information filled in. If you have any questions about some of this information, you need to contact your market center for the market center, the brokerage information. Go ahead and do that. Get your images in here. Get everything done, including your legal text. This is one of the reasons we're talking about this here is that legal text. Get any footer images that you have. Also add all your social options down here at the bottom. And here, for those of you wondering, there's the Pixel install from Chris, thank you. If you're wondering where to enter the Pixel ID number once you get it, it's here down at the bottom of the screen. So the Facebook Pixel and ads, this is how you can target your audience with this ID. And all you have to do is put it here. You don't have to worry about embedding it anywhere else. Just put it in here and don't forget to hit save at the very bottom. This is very, very important because it's kind of buried down here at the very bottom. And sometimes people miss it when they're looking through here. So make sure that you get that in there and save it. Okay. If anybody's curious about what the analytics are for Google versus the Google AdWords, analytics tracks demographics and site visitors to your KW agent site. Where do you find the wording for the legal text? Great question, Rob. This is, each of you have your market center compliance officers. That's the main source of the correct information for your marketplace or your market center. So if you have a packet when you first started, it's in that packet with the legal text and information. Wire fraud comes to mind, things like that. But your market center compliance officers will be the main source of that wording for the legal text. Google Analytics is also free. So Google Analytics allows you to track visitors to your website, the KW website. So that's different from the Pixel thing, which is actually helping you market better. Okay, little pause real quick. How's everybody doing? Just give me a nod if everybody's okay. If you're not, throw up a hand, throw up a rock or something like that. Okay, we're doing good.
Are you going to tell us about how we're going to know about that? The Google Analytics ID for our website, how we can see what's going on?
Well, there's two things that need to take place for that, Rhonda. One, there's a little link on there on this page to take you to the Google Analytics ID. Again, this is a free tool. All you're doing is signing up and saying to Google, hey, would you mind giving me a piece of code that I can throw on my web page and track the visitors and the demographics and the information? And they will give you that code after you go through the little form and sign it up. You come back here, you paste the code and you hit save. You don't have to add this code to any of your web pages. It's just a really simple process. So clicking that link will take you to the process to create that number, and then you just punch it in there.
Thank you.
All right.
And where do you find that pixel to put on?
Pixel, there's actually, Chris put a post into the chat here, the facebook.com business Pixel manual install. So there's more information in the chat links that Chris put in there. And of course, a Google search for Facebook Pixel will get you some places as well.
Okay.
All right. Bailey, did the kid have a question? No. Okay. I've already lost the kid. He or she is looking out the window. I'm gone here.
She's far more interested in a squirrel in the yard. So,
but I'm with her. Okay, so let's jump back over here. So we talked about getting your marketing profile set up. The next thing, of course, is to start talking about the money. These are all things that have to be done before we can actually do a Facebook ad. So we'll jump back over. And this time, what we're going to do is we're going to leave. And remember, if you've been playing along and you've changed anything in here, hit save before you go. So the marketing profile will save it and update it. Good to go. Good deal. Hey, I got something for you here. Something that I just recently found out. Anything that's in the bio area or anything that's in your marketing profile is here and it can always be updated. However, if you have this information first, which you should, and you've created your KW web pages, including your homepage, the About Us, the About Me, the contact page, and all that information that shows your bios. If you've already created that information and put that website up on the web, if you come back here to the marketing profile later and modify your bio, for example, it does not push through and update your website. You will manually need to go and update your website. It's kind of a one-time deal. When you create the page, it looks over to the marketing profile and says, got it, and then it goes up. Anything that changes in the marketing profile later, you'll need to update your website accordingly. Keep that in mind. Okay. So getting your credit cards. Everybody just go ahead and put your credit cards up against the screen here, and I'll just go ahead and copy that information. And I swear I will take care of putting all of the credit card information in an account. Chris, am I going to get censored for that? Yes. Okay. Well, this is opportunities. What am I doing?
My compliance hat went on.
All right, so just for clarity, that was a joke, and don't send me your credit card information. Really, send my wife. Okay, here on where we went over to the campaigns module, the campaigns applet. So on here on the left, and hey, did you guys know this? The red KW up in the corner actually shows you the names of the different apps and the different modules in here. So you can click the red KW and figure out what all these names mean. I still use this because sometimes I just, my brain dries up. So we're on campaigns. And on campaigns here, we have a bunch of stuff. We're going to be working the paid ads here from this in just a moment. But the first thing we need to do right over here next to create a new campaign is payments. In the payments section, for obvious reasons, you're going to enter your credit card information here. On the left side of the lower end of that box for payment information is the add payment method. So this is the data that you'll fill in for your credit card so that they can charge you correctly. And once that's in, and of course, you can have multiple cards on file here. So I have a remaining credit of $0. And these credits here, by the way, the credits are credited to your account when the spend of a campaign is lower than your budget, because they're going to charge you the budget. So they'll give you back credits if the actual spend turned out lower than your budget. They'll use those credits next time. So if you do a $30 budget and they only do 25 or something like that, $5 will go into the credits. And so the next time you can either use the credits or put the 30 bucks in and, you know, use $35 worth of credits. So that's really cool that they do that. It makes sense because there's really not a refund process for this that I know of. So if you do see a remaining credits up there, that's why that's happening. Now, down at the bottom, I do not have any ad spend metrics for myself. I don't pay for these things because I'm just a Market Center technical trainer, and this is where you will find your cost per click and your cost per, I love this, CPM, cost per million, cost per man hour. What is this? It's cost per 1,000 viewings, or 1,000 what's the word I'm looking for, Chris? 1,000 when they start.
I don't know. I always think of millennium because it's 1,000.
It's 1,000. Yeah, it's impressions. Who said that? Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Impressions. So this is cost per impression, or per 1,000 impressions, millenniums, okay? And there is, if you do go to the help section, there is a guide and a breakdown for all of these codes to explain in depth what they mean. As a matter of fact, I will have a link for that at the end of this so that you can actually go into KW or answers.kw.com to see those things, because you don't keep this at the top of your head. Okay, so once you have added your payments in, and we'll come back over here, we see that we've added our credit cards in, we are finally ready to start talking about actually doing the advertising. But don't rush. Don't jump into here. Now we're gonna jump into here today because we don't have a lot of time, but don't rush on determining your goals. What are you actually trying to do? Are you trying to do brand awareness for a team or for a company? Are you trying to generate listings? Are you trying to generate buyers? This is so important because so many agents that I work with, they are just gung-ho to get out there and advertise on Facebook, but they really don't have a plan. And so they end up doing a Facebook ad inside the design area, and they're like, yeah, what am I saying? What am I doing? Write it down. Make a plan, and then decide where you're going to do the advertising. And then okay, so Mindy, I stopped a campaign early and had credits that did not automatically get used on my next campaign. How do you use the credits? Chris, I have never had to use the credits. Do you know if anything, has anybody had the credits be used or applied to another campaign?
So the credits should be applied automatically before the next charge happens. If you interrupted a campaign and there was some discrepancy between the credits due, I would follow up with Facebook directly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's where I would go with that as well. The Facebook is managing those credits because they're the one taking the dollars for the campaign. So questions about, you know, that dollar value in the credit or why it didn't apply should be directed to them. Maria says that it should be going to the next purchase. That is my understanding as well. So Mindy, you might want to check to see what's going on with the Facebook account. Again, the Facebook, what did I say it was, Ryan? Advertising mamas or something like that. I forgot. That's terrible. Whew. Okay. Manager. All right. So how do you follow up with Facebook? Mindy, you're going to go, the Facebook ad manager is in that business.facebook.com site that I was talking about. That's where you'll be able to communicate and you'll be able to reach out to Facebook's advertising. Okay. So again, the slide here is telling you to determine your budget, length of campaign, and start date. Really, this all has to do with the goals and setting up the campaign before you go into Facebook. And if you are using outside graphics, get those and write some copy. You don't want to be in the Facebook ad writing copy. It becomes stressful and it becomes one of those things where you end up writing things and later on going, oh, I wish I had said it a different way. Write it down.
Typos.
Yeah, typos. Oh, typos alone.
I
Okay.
always use the email Compose, right? Or Microsoft
Yep.
Word, and then copy paste.
Yeah, absolutely. Your copy should not be written the first time in the actual ad writing or the design area. Please don't do that. Okay, so we're going to come back to this screen because I didn't realize it was here this fast. All right. So we are now going to talk about building the campaign. We are going to assume that we have already done the pre-work for what the campaign is. And so in the campaigns area, we're going to stay right here for now. We're going to come up here to the paid ads. So we have dashboard, paid ads, emails, direct mail. So we're going to click on paid ads. Now in the paid ads area here, we will see the campaigns that we have created. You'll see I have one on draft here. And this is what we can do. We can put these on draft before we actually publish them. So I've got one here sitting on draft. All right, so here is where we can see what's going on. Now, my ads are actually never going to run, but he will see here the total dollars for the, what is it? The impressions, the leads captured, the total dollar spend. You'll see everything that you need to see here about the campaign, including being able to go in and look at the campaign, edit it if it's not already gone out. If it's already gone out, it's not going to be editable. You can duplicate that campaign or you can archive it. So to begin a campaign, so again, we have little goals drop down here for filtering and all channels selected. We've decided already the channels that we're going on, and we're going to go ahead and click on create a new campaign. So here we have in the paid ads area, we have two choices. We have the social ad paid and Google or search ads paid. That's the Google AdWords. We're not going to be talking about that here. Social ad. So we'll click on that. And then it's looking for something that ties directly into your goals. If you are trying to do any of these things, think about it. You know, people talk about, I want to let people know that I'm available in town or something like that, you know, in a particular area. Brand awareness, fine. Event awareness. We've got an open house or we've got a great seminar coming up. That's the kind of thing we want to think about. If you don't know the answer right this moment, you should know the answer by the time you get here. If you don't know the answer, you can always choose other and do it later. But what you cannot do is leave this page without adding a campaign name. So my campaign name is going to be brand awareness. And what we're going to be doing here very simply is creating an ad that talks about our involvement in the community, say. All right. So I'm going to choose my campaign run, my channels down here, and I'll choose one. All of this information, by the way, in this dialogue here can be changed later on. So you just got to get through this, but you should have a really good idea. Okay, setting up the campaign. Please select a goal as I should have, because I should have clicked on it, and that's good enough. There we go. Set up campaign. This is the that little pop through right there, just as a little hint. That's always going to show up in there. That is your marketing center's logo and image, and you can change those in your marketing profile area. So when we get in here on the campaign page to actually build the campaign, we have a name and a goal section, which we just completed, which is why there's a check mark on it and it was collapsed. If you come in here and you want to change this and modify the name or anything, I strongly urge you to use a name that really reflects the campaign so that you don't have marketing houses, listings for Portsmouth. Don't be vague. You've decided to target a group. You've decided to spend the money. You want to be able to look through this and evaluate and report on it later. So give a good name. All right. So again, we could change much of this if we wanted to now. I will tell you one thing here as we go to the next section. If you are thinking about using imagery from an existing listing, do it now. Okay, what I mean is if you are thinking about taking images from one of your listings to use as a graphic, as the images, which can also include a carousel, do it before you go to the next step. And the reason is because if you do not choose the listing now and you add some text, add copy here, this text will get blown out if you come back later and select the listing, and you're just going to have to retype it. So don't do that. Make sure that you make the decision and stick with it, because I'm telling you right now, many people have called me and said, oh my God, I did all this ad copy, then I added my listing and it's all gone. And to them, I say, I'm sure that it's in a Word page document right next to that, right? And they're like, no, I typed it all in when I was making it up. Don't do it. Okay, so that's unfortunate. I've tried to reach them. Oh, so you guys are still talking about the Facebook thing. Yeah, Facebook. I went to see Mark Zuckerberg and I really could not believe at Madame Tussauds. He was so lifelike. Okay, add text. I'm going to do this because I'm not going to put a listing image. Now, if you choose to do that, remember, like I said, well, you know what, I'll do it. I'm going to do it first to show you the listing, what it can do here. So all listings, and I'll just grab one here. I'm just going to grab anything I find without actually doing a search. When it comes up, if I wanted to use, of course, I'm assuming that this is going to be my listing here. So this is Paris Island in Beaufort, South Carolina, and it's processing. Great. So the one that I choose probably doesn't have any images. All right. Well, fine. Be that way then. Come on. Give me something good. Give me something good.
It's always the listing that we choose in a class that happens
Isn't
to not
it?
have the photos.
Isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, well, you know, okay, fine. Fine. Be that way. Okay, fine. Okay. So here's what I will say to you. So Mount Grace is the listing that I picked, right? And check it out. Beautiful corner lot in Habershams, highly desirable Sunrise Bluff. Man, I want to move there right now just because I want to see the sign with Habershams on it. So this is what I was talking about. You put it in there. That's all great and fine and dandy. But if you had done the ad copy first, it would have blown it out. So I'm going to go down to my ad copy here. And I'm going to look at this. Now, this is the main copy that came in. And at this point, you'll see down below here, there's a headline and it says suggestions and shuffles, but you don't see one here up in the text. That's because the text has already been placed in there from the listing. But if I delete that information out and say, okay, what is the main copy here? I'm sorry, this was where we type the main copy. So I can enter anything that I want in here. The headline of the other parts are where we get the suggestions. So enter the main copy. Now remember, my copy here is not going to be very intense because we're doing a class, but this is very, very important to the point where let's look at some copy. Let's look at some of the ads that I pulled down when I did a search. This was last week. I did a search for the best Facebook real estate ads 2020 and 2021. And this is what came up. Now, whether you think these are the best or not is really up to you. But what I took away from some of these, and I'm just going to briefly go through them to talk about some of the different types of ads that we see here. From the top left, the blue Coldwell Banker, they're not advertising a home. They're not advertising an office. They're advertising the brand. Coldwell Banker is proud to be partners with St. Jude's. That's it. So they're just making brand awareness. If that's your goal, then I think that you should get some kind of branding package together where it really expresses that. The one here that's to the right of that, Lowell, she has a picture of herself here. I can't read her name, but this is great. This is We Sell the Best Sunday Mornings. This is a connection ad. This is so good because you're talking to people not about a home. You're talking about the comfort and the feeling of being there. On the next ad here, we have Real Estate Rent or Buy. This is a great informational ad that leads to people to believing they need information. They're looking at this going, oh man, that's really a good question. So how do you decide which is best for you? So this is Levinson Real Estate here. The next one over here, I like this because again, it's selling an attitude, it's selling a vibe. Are you considering selling your home in the near future? Our property experts can help. So this gives you an image of professionalism and an attitude. Down in the left corner, owning a home, it has the, people moving in with the boxes. This is, again, brand awareness, but it's also targeting the same thing that We Sell Sunday Mornings was. It's targeting the feeling. The next one down here, the green one, we have buyers. That's it, a gigantic John Deere ad that matches their logo. It's everything. It's perfect for them. The green and the yellow, my God, every John Deere owner probably clicked on that and went, wait a minute, that's not a tractor supply store. Renzo, this one here is about the use of emojis and the use of just sparkle and really kind of making it stand out in that way. And finally, the one on the right is, hey, real simple. I'm a pro, buying or selling a home, you need to call Mike Jones. All of these are examples. None of these we're going to be able to create today because we haven't put the forethought in, but you will. You'll be putting that thought together. Okay.
And, Rob, could I also just point out that one of the differentiators in those ads is that second to last Renzo one. You'll notice that one has a very specific call to action, right?
Yes.
And so depending on your goal that you've, like Rob said, was decided upon earlier in the process, you would choose either like a very specific call to action like that, or something more just brand or listing oriented. Yeah,
absolutely. And if you take a look at this, to Chris's point, the Coldwell Banker has a call to action, and you can see down at the bottom, this was clearly a Facebook ad, and it has the link and the information there, plus the call to action. The We Sell does not, because the information to contact this person is here. There might be links inside the text. This is just the graphics for this. And I'm seeing Maria's asking about how to get these templates. These are not templates. None of these are templates. These were actual ads that were run on Facebook, which you should be looking for. And, if many of these ads I found out of state, and I wasn't looking for that, but you don't want to necessarily take the same ad that the guy down the street is using. That would be kind of bad. But the idea is take away the ideas. Take away one of these will speak to you, and it will say, you know what, that's the kind of ad I want. After you find an example, then you're going to try to rebuild it with your personality and your message.
Now, wait a second, because earlier you said you went looking for some good Facebook ads.
Yes.
Finish that. What did you actually do?
I went to Google and I typed in best Facebook real estate ads 2020, and then I did one for 2021. Okay. That's the literal search term that I used. And the next thing, Rhonda, what I did was instead of looking at the list of returns in terms of like the links, I switched over to images and I started scanning through the 10,000 images that I saw. And I grabbed them right off there and just put them in here. But that is, let's face it, we all need to be inspired. And this should give you just this little piece here. I'm hopeful that it will inspire some of you to go, I really like that We Sell Sunday Mornings, which, by the way, that's the ad that hits me the best. Curiosity. Which one of these 8 are up here strikes you? Throw it in the chat. I'm curious. I already said the one I like. I think that We Sell Best Sunday Mornings are that just, bam, that gets me. So you guys type that in there.
Hey, Rob, can I just throw a comment out there? Also, there's a site called The Lighter Side of Real Estate, depending on how serious or light you want to be with your ad. So I occasionally will throw out on Tuesday, a Taco Tuesday ad, happiness is eating tacos in your dream home. Oh, and then I'll do that on a Taco Tuesday. Of course, I launch it on Monday, so it posts on Tuesday. But you can theme them. You just kind of be creative with it. But The Lighter Side of Real Estate, also NAR has some
That's
ideas.
Great. So, Charlie, when you say The Lighter Side of Real Estate, is that the web address? Lighter Side of Real Estate?
Yeah, if you Google it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great tip. Thanks, Charlie. Because, we are looking at something that is a business set of ads in front of you. I did come into contact with a few that were kind of fun, but I grabbed these from a business perspective. So thanks for lightening that up, Charlie. That's a very, very important point. And it also speaks to your personality. So most of you are going with Sunday morning. So I got to tell you, that makes sense to me. That looks so pro. That looks like it was done by a marketing company. And if that real estate agent did that, more kudos to her, man. That's just great. So the other one that gets me, of course, with the kid here is the Coldwell Banker. I just love that, you know, and that's probably because I like blue a lot too. So I'm surprised we didn't get a lot of likes for Mike down there in the corner with that smile.
Or Mike. Remember, these are inspirational, not going to Google and taking their ad and republishing it as your own.
Please don't do that. Okay, back over we go into our ad text. So in here, this is where you're going to say, you know, I can offer you the best experience to buy in buying your home. That's where am I? I experience in your home purchase. Okay, so I'm doing exactly what I told you not to do when you buy a home. Why? Because I'm showing you what it really looks like if you are a third person looking at it. That's terrible. And it shows up as one little line of text here. There's no flash. There's no real tag that says read me. There's no, in this case, I'm not using the emojis. This is about as plain vanilla as you can get. Please don't do this. This is something where you want to take a moment. You can write up to 250 characters in this section. Use it, not all of it, but use it to say what you need to say and edit yourself to the point where you're not talking just for talking's sake. Edit yourself, say the things that you need to say and get on, which is clearly what I'm not doing right now. Okay, we have a preview on the right-hand side. Did you spell check? Is that wrong?
That's right.
I thought it was wrong, which would not surprise me. Okay, so it says here recommended 125 or less. The main copy will appear in all placements, whereas description down here will be shown in some placements, depending on where this ends up. That's why they give you the difference here. So on the right-hand side with our nice little graphic here that hasn't been placed in there yet, we have down at the bottom our CTA, our call to action link. And manager, Charlie, oh, I'm not living that one down. Okay, so we get to be able to preview it on the right-hand side. So the headlines, try this. Your Nexpert Aberts are here to serve you. So in the headline, we can actually shuffle for different suggestions. So if we want to see a different idea, let's go ahead and make sure that this is doing it. And of course, it's been sitting here for a half an hour, so it's gotten tired. But I'll use this suggestion. There are several that you can choose from in here. And if you don't like the one you've chosen from, then you can remove the text there and it should work this time. Oh, you know what, Chris, this is like the life of an instructor. You go to click the button in front of 70 people and the next thing you know, it's not working.
Yep.
So this does indeed work. I have seen it work. And it's really cool. But at the same time, I would prefer that you see, it's a typical command. Thanks, Rhonda. I would prefer that you came in here and tried to do something based on some of this that really spoke to the people that you were trying to talk to. The description here is, in many cases I have seen, the description is a copy of the headlines. Because of the way that Facebook works, they're not going to put both of them in there. So one is going to end up in all placements and the description may end up only in some, okay? And by some, I mean, it'll probably replace the headlines in different types of ads. They are the ones who determine this. After you get this going, they're pretty much the ones that determine the rest of it. Okay, do not, under any circumstances, put anything that is even remotely to the left or right of center, because Facebook has been known to pull ads or deny ads that show a wine bottle in a corner on a listing. Okay, they will blow it out. If you reference alcohol, wine, if this has got a great wine cellar, probably not going to get in there. They're very strict and it's to be taken seriously, because all it's going to do is delay your ads. And if you're doing something on a time sensitive level, just be straight down the middle. It'll really help you get your work out there and not have to worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and save my ad.
Review Facebook's guidelines beforehand, so you have a good frame of reference.
Yes, please. And this all ties into, as we were saying, you know, preparing your ad. We shouldn't get here. You should never be at a place where an ad was rejected, because you should know what's going to be accepted and what's not. So, you know, this is going to kill me here, Chris. It looks like this page is not doing anything good for me here. It's showing red. You're ticking me off.
Gotta have a couple characters in there because they're required fields.
And I thought that this would go because I'm using it.
There you
Okay,
go.
that'll take it. There it is. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save my ad text. Use the space, don't overuse it. Now we get down to add media. This is what ties into that whole thing about what we were talking about with the listing. If you have not created an ad like this, and you are going to use just an image with your thing, then this is where you're going to add that. If you have not created it, you're going to have to stop here. You're going to have to save this as a draft and leave. You should have your media ready to go. If that includes listing images or whatever it includes, you need to have that ready to go here because it's now. So in the add media section, we have two choices, add images and video. And, oh, I should have put this in here. It wouldn't have gone on the PowerPoint. I saw a fantastic video for a real estate agency and they flew over the beautiful home, of course, little drone flight over the home. They came down right down to the real estate agent who started there, you know, very professional and very just kind of like cool looking, and was saying, you know, let's get you into your dream home. And I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. You know, you're flying over the house, you go, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then the guy says, hey, come on down, let's get you in this thing. Really nice. So you can put videos in here. All right, in the select media, we're talking about going into the media that you have available here from the listings, from adding images from your desktop, and of course, adding video. So we can do these. So let's start on the left, choosing from a listing. So this is not a listing, but this is where we can get that information and bring a listing image in. On the add images, we have a choice from going from designs. This is how we get to the design library. It seems a little counterintuitive because most of the other designs that we have, the design library is like front and center. So this one is actually on the little second tab here. Choose from designs or upload your images. So you have a choice here. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to the designs and I'm going to pick my little Easter one here that I had just built. That's it. You don't need to worry about the graphics. That for this purpose, I just wanted to throw something in there. Okay. So this is just going to throw that in there for a placeholder for me. But going back to this example, text over top of the images with the logos of the organization, this kind of stuff right here, this is graphic and this is well produced. If you're going to do something like that, you can't do it with just an image here. We can't add text to that. So be careful about that. If you want to have a really professional look, do the whole thing. And then finally over here, we have the upload images, which we know will take us to our desktop, which we can then upload. So we don't need to worry about that right now.
And Rob, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to those images, I believe Facebook wants to see more graphics than text, right? So I think you want to be careful that you don't create an image that's like 70% text.
Yes.
That may get rejected. So just be aware of that.
Absolutely. And it's in that vein too, 600 pixels on the long edge. It's actually supposed to be 600 by 600. Okay. The maximum size is 3 megabytes. 600 by 600 is a 1-to-1 or square. So do that, follow those guidelines, and you will have great success. And when I say follow those guidelines, this one is almost square, but it's probably 600 on the long side, 600 on the long side. So keep in mind what you're actually trying to go for. This is a vertical ad. I'm not sure if they did something different here. Maybe they went into Facebook and did it themselves. But you see that a lot of them are really running in the same shape. Here's a little more of a landscape size, but this one goes down a little bit. So the idea is, again, be aware of these things. Now my image here is 1080 by 1080. It's going to scale it down. So let's go ahead and do with a preview and crop. And it says, all right, look at this, wide. So it's trying to show me a landscape, which is how those other ones got in there. But if I come over to my drop down and I can choose that I want it 1-to-1 square, and I can go ahead and make it square. Don't be afraid to pull down this menu here and try different looks to see if it really kind of makes it look the way you want it to. There is also a cropping tool here and a rotation tool if you want to rotate the image. And you can rotate it in chunks by 90s, either counterclockwise or clockwise here as well. All right, so we'll save the image. Here we can add more. So I can add additional images if I want. And I think it's up to, is it 6 or 12? No, it's 6, right? Chris, anyone 6? Anybody have anything more than 6 going there?
Forget.
All
Let's
right.
say 6 because
Let's
that
say
way if
6.
it's 12, it's bonus.
We know what we're doing. So this is my text here, and it says 0.401 megs square 1-to-1. Great. Now, the DBA logo down here, you're going to want to leave that there. If you are looking to find your DBA logo, you can click this link. It will take you to the Keller Williams site where you can look up your market center number, and it will give you the DBA logo for that. You can place the logo on the left or right, and where it shows up, I don't know if it shows up in the preview. Oh, there it is down at the bottom. Hey, down at the bottom there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it over on the other side, and it moves my legal text over there. Include my ownership statement, and we can put our ownership statement in here. All, you know, each office is independently owned. Now I've got save ad media. Now we're getting into the good stuff, and this is where we finally decide where it's going and what's going on. I'm going to start way down here first. So I want to talk about this destination. And the reason I want to talk about it is because it's the most important thing in this section. I see a lot of people take this section here and believe that what they want to do is use a site or a landing page in this particular section. And they don't understand that what you're saying is bypass Facebook's lead generation tools. Don't deliver me the leads. I will collect the leads and manage them on an external site myself. You don't want to do that. You're paying Facebook to do this, to collect the leads and to collect the information so that it will deliver it to your command interface. This is what you want to choose. So obviously I can't choose it until I actually pick a page here. And here's proof where we're only talking about your business pages. The account, my personal account, is under Robert Vincent. These are my 4 little test pages that I have. The one that I use the most of the time and the one that has the most information on it is my little streaming page. So I will select streaming, and I will use Facebook's lead generation form. And this way, placemat? Lisa, what do you mean by placemat? I'm gonna need a little explanation on that one. Placeholder, maybe? All right, type it in there. We'll
I'll keep an eye on it.
All right. So underneath the Facebook's lead generation form, we have the CTA button, and that's this button over here on the right. It says learn more. You ready for all the incredible options that you get? Hang on, there's more. Learn more, sign up, and apply now. I'm guessing that in our industry, learn more is going to be used most of the time. Sign up is going to be used probably the next one for open houses and events, and then apply now for any mortgage and anything like you want to do with those tools. But you get the 3. So in this case, I'll leave it on learn more. So to recap here, we've got the account and the page that is being used as the platform which we're advertising against. The destination is going to be the lead generation form. Don't do this unless you have an external collection tool that will deliver these leads to your command. Call to action, what it says. And then we get down to the part where everybody says, okay, now you can put a page in here for them to go after they've filled out the form. This is where you pick a landing page that you've created. So when you choose landing page, you can take them to your home site of your Keller Williams page. You can take them to the download my app. Whatever you have built for landing pages, you can use that. That's the mistake people make, is they try to put that above. You've got that option. Just put it below where it belongs here. That way, and you can see here, it's already accepted. It's got a little green check. So it says good to go. It will validate the link, and you cannot link back to a Facebook page. That's a loop. Don't do that. They don't like that. It won't even accept it in here. Okay, for all of you who were waiting for this section here, the destination and the ad targeting, that's what we're on right now. Ad targeting, we could spend a lot of time going through this. And also, look what happened. Beaufort, South Carolina. Oh, what is going on here? I just looked at that. I wasn't going to actually use it. That's the ramifications of choosing that without knowing exactly what it's doing. You can change this though. So we'll drop this down here and it says location, United States, Beaufort, South Carolina. If I'm not really looking for that, I can X that out and I can put in what I'm looking for. And hopefully it will find me. There we are. New Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Didn't know there was even one of those.
I did not either.
New Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Who knew? So here is where we're going. Now, I do concede that you can target your database. Let's talk about that another day. Targeting a custom audience. You're putting an ad on Facebook. Let's focus on that. You can choose the radius around that center. So we're talking about targeting by your standards, who you want to hit. Down below this, we can open up expert targeting. It is optional and you can go down a rabbit hole here. But if there are specific types of interests that you want to target, keep in mind, we're not talking about targeting people. That's bad. But people who are interested in accounting and have put accounting as an interest on their page. And this list has a very tiny scroll bar. It is massive. And when you go down through here, if you get crazy, you're going to get like eye strain. So you can search. So if people are interested in real estate agencies directly, quality assurance, brokers. So what you see here is when I highlight one of these options, it says the audience size, 141,722,290 people.
That's it?
Within 20 miles of Portsmouth. Wow. Portsmouth really blew up. No, that's not Portsmouth. So this is the audience who has shown interest in this. I don't know. This to me, Chris, looks global. It does not necessarily
it's global.
look.
Users on Facebook.
Yeah, because I can't imagine even in the United States, 141 million are favoriting real estate brokers. Nothing against real estate brokers. I'm just saying, you know, rock stars might get a higher rating. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think if you look at real estate, I think that was like 500 million, wasn't it?
500 million.
I was a hair off.
Yeah, by almost 700,000. Okay, so what you're doing is you're saying in this type of interest, the reality is if you choose this, it's going to try to see in the Portsmouth and 20-mile radius around it, if anybody has that interest. It may be nothing, it may be nobody. So you're taking a chance here, you're giving Facebook more information, but you know what's even better than this? Say it with me.
Cake.
Pixel.
Oh.
Pixel.
Oh, okay.
Pixel allows you to create a persona and multiple versions of this persona that is the perfect customer for what you're trying to do. Instead of going through here and clicking, click, you can create a persona on Pixel. And it says, I'm looking for people who enjoy the beach and they enjoy drinking beer and they enjoy playing golf. That's a persona. And using a persona in Pixel can really dial this down without all the checkboxes. So for me, I'm going to put a checkbox because I don't have a Pixel persona here. I can add as many as I want. I can save it here. And then when you're done with this, you can continue to narrow the audience down by adding additional parameters that will continue to narrow it. Don't go crazy because the reality is, although you saw hundreds of millions of people with certain interests, you're trying to now combine these interests and say, I want somebody this and this and this. You may end up just working yourself right out of the target market because there's not enough people in that area to send the ads to. So be wise, be lean, and I think you'll be a little bit more satisfied with the results. All right, so I'll save my Facebook ad and we're coming up on just about to close. So we're just at the right point at the right time. Duration and budget. You can specify, it says here, recommending a 10-day campaign and a budget of $1 per channel. My channel is Facebook. I did not choose Instagram or Twitter. So my channel is $1 per day. So I got 10 days here. So I got a $30 and I've got April 9th start with a duration of 10 days on the 19th. You can pick your start date. It must be 1 day from today. So you can't do it today. It's got to get approved. And you can increase or decrease your budget. And here's your daily per channel. In my case, I only chose the one here, I think. And so on the right, we do have the preview. So if we're set and ready to go on this, we'll go ahead and click on the save here. Where's my button? My mouse has been funky today. Is my screen showing little funky squares on it to you guys?
No.
Okay, my mouse is actually disappearing on me here. Wow. Hey, remember those old days when the Windows would?
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, it's doing its thing. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. Save duration and budget. Okay, so now you have a choice: publish it or save it as a draft. For me, I'm going to save it as a draft because guess what? If I didn't hit save as draft and try to publish it, it'd be like, you haven't set up your credit cards. So I'll save as draft. So I have a question here. Why didn't you also choose Instagram? I'm only using Facebook as an example. So that's the only reason. There's no other reason. So you can add as many of these as you want the channels that you're going to. So I'll save my draft. Are you sure? Yes. So at this point, you should be able to take away the experience of doing this and understanding how the mechanics of this flow. The most important part about being in that Facebook building page is what?
Landing page.
I'm going to call that the second most important.
So,
Say it again.
destination URL.
The listing agent URL. No, that's going to be still in the landing pages. It's the choosing a listing before you do your ad copy, or worse, after you do your ad copy, because now you have to make sure that it takes it out of the destination for the market that you're shooting for. Be very careful about that. Okay. The most important thing is, if you're using a listing, is it the listing in the region where you want to market around? If not, you will have to make the adjustments. Is the copy what you want? Probably not. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any questions that you would like to ask me?
So I have a question about some follow-up destinations, URL, and the landing page. How to do that? Just really show one more time, please.
Sure. So you notice I was in draft mode, and I'm going back into the ad before publishing at this point. I'm assuming that I'm going to get there eventually. Okay, get in there. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so in the Facebook ads section, so what we're talking about here in this destination is this radio button will bypass Facebook's lead collection form. We don't want to do that. So we want to use the Facebook lead collection form because that's what we're paying for here. The one down for the follow-up is after they've completed the form. Where do you want to take them? You could take them to a thank you page. You could make your own landing page that says, thank you, a representative will be calling you soon, or reaching out to you for more information. We look forward to talking with you. Build a landing page in the KW pages of your consumer area. Make it nice and have links on that page to take them to your website, to some of the other things that you offer. Really what you're trying to do is say, use Facebook's lead form and then take them there after.
I see.
Ask a question.
Hit me.
Is there an ability to choose more than one location when you're doing your radius, or can you only by editing the campaign after the fact and switching?
The radius is only one choice. So that you only get one choice for the distance around the selected location. So you can't include 2 locations and put 2 radiuses. You have to do 2 different ads. So the ad itself it's limited to an area. And then of course you can choose the interests and target a little better within there, but you can't choose 2 target audiences.
What happens to edit the campaign though? I saw there's an option to edit the it was going to change the location, but I wasn't sure if it was going to mess up what I currently have going on.
Well, if it's in draft mode, you should be okay. But once it's published, this information is going to be locked in because you can't pull back the horse once it's left the gate on this one. So when Facebook approves it, it's already into their system. You won't be able to you won't even be able to open it. You'll be able to view the actions of it and you can copy it, but you won't be able to do any edits. If you wanted to, you could duplicate it and put it into a different area. You could use the same ad, duplicate it, and put it in a different radius in a different region or wherever you wanted to go. So the ad itself you can reuse, but you can't change the single ad. You have to duplicate it.
It did see an option on a drop down. Like when I clicked edit, it was the only thing I could change. Like you're definitely correct in that you can't modify your actual ad. But when I was looking at an ad that I just created this week, I clicked on the edit button, and then the only thing it gave you for an option was to change location and the radius. But I didn't want to mess with what I already had going since my first ad. But you could, yeah, then hit edit campaign.
Now,
no, here because mine was already published, so it looks a bit different.
that's what I was going to say is you're really doing another ad.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good point though. So what you're saying is that you can duplicate the ad by changing the radius and changing the location without having to actually duplicate the ad. Okay.
Seems like there's another option where you can maybe just change who you're targeting as far as the location without anything else except for that.
That's a cool thing so that you can reuse the work that you've put into it. You don't have to create it from scratch again. Good point. All right. Any other questions?
I have a quick question. When the leads come in through command, somebody from my market center mentioned that not all of the leads from Facebook generates through command. And she had mentioned there's a way you can go through to find the rest of the leads. It's an Excel form. It's an Excel spreadsheet you can go through. Chris, I don't know if you remember Deb. She mentioned when you do a Facebook ad, the leads come in, but there's a way you can get a full list through Excel.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if she's getting it out of command. Chris, do you know if there's an Excel spreadsheet export from the the paid ads manager?
Not all of the leads come through command because she mentioned it to me before, and I did find 5 missing leads that didn't populate through command, and I can't remember how to.
Well, my guess without seeing the situation, and if this is just a stab in the dark, is that somebody went to the facebook.com ad manager and pulled down the CSV from there and compared it against what Facebook imported into.
Yeah, that might be it. And there might be a scrubber too. So if somebody uses an email address, like email@email.com, it might just drop that because it's obviously fake. So there might be some scrubbing going on too, which might account for the different numbers.
Is there a way to see our social ad the way others would see it on?
Not unless you're in the right place at the right time. It's one of those things where this is why you really want this to be something in the preview that is exactly what you want it to be, because that's going to be the ad. The reality is, I don't know if anybody who's actually seen the ad run on their own sphere of influence. I mean, it's designed to target people outside of that. So I wish that you could. I wish that you could like send you like, hey, this is what it looks like, but you built it, so we should know what it looks like.
Yeah, the best answer for that, I think, is just paying close attention to the preview when you're constructing it.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so I really want to thank you all for being here. Had a great time with you guys today. I'm Robert Vincent. I'm the Market Center Technical Trainer up here in 463 in Portsmouth. It's been a lot of fun working with you through these the regional trainings, and I hope you guys have success with this. If you have any questions or there's anything else that you'd like to know about, either Chris or myself, you can reach out to either one of us, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. You also have your Market Center Technical Trainers that you can reach out to. So for now, that's going to be it. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and everybody stay out of trouble. Chris, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys,
Thanks a lot, Rob.
You got it.